Hey guys, I'm going to review the seventh book in the Vampire Chronicles series, and that is Merrick. Merrick is a member of the Mayfair Witches, so you finally get a crossover with the Vampire Chronicles and the Mayfair Witches book series. And this is the first one that actually does it, full force at least, to my memory. And what this book is about is Merrick, who is related somewhat distantly to the Mayfairs, being that the Mayfairs are Caucasian and she is African American. So she is still related to the Mayfair Witches, and she is raised by her family. And when she eventually becomes an orphan and becomes adopted in a way by David, a member of the Talamasca, and she's trained and becomes a member of the Talamasca. And eventually she meets Lestat and Louis, especially. Louis hunts her down and wants Merrick, to contact the spirit of Claudia from the original Interview of the Vampire to ask the questions of, did she really love him, and all the questions that he's always wanted to ask her in the centuries since her death. He's wanted to know. And so he asks Merrick to bring back the ghost of Claudia after he goes to the house they used to live, and he finds her diary, and that just raises more questions, and he just wants to get some clear answers, and the answers that he receives are not what he wanted to hear. So overall, the book Merrick is a really enjoyable book for the fact that it's a crossover between the Mayfair Witches and the Vampire Chronicles. The Merrick character herself is actually pretty interesting, and it goes into depth about her past, her family, and her relationship with David Talbot. But the most interesting part of the series, or in this book, is the Louis and Claudia relationship, and it changes the relationship of Louis and Claudia in the original novel. Claudia comes out and says her intent behind everything she did in the original book, and that maybe she wasn't as nice and innocent, and maybe was more manipulative than she appeared in the novel. But Louis, knowing Louis, he has rose-tinted glasses when it comes to people, and he definitely did for Claudia, which was his lover/daughter. And maybe she didn't have the same feelings and affections to him that he had for her. And you find that out in this book. And what's interesting is that because of Lestat drinking of Akasha, he's the strongest vampire. Like, he cannot be hurt in the sun as easily as all the other vampires. So Louis gets to experience that in a way. And you find out in this book that Louis becomes a stronger vampire through his experience. He goes to his own personal hell, and he experiences things he didn't want to experience, but in the end it makes him stronger for it. He becomes a better vampire for it. And overall, the story is really good. I really enjoyed it. This is Merrick, the seventh book in the series. It's way better, in my opinion, than the Vampire Armand. It gets back on track to more interesting stories, and it clears up the Louis and Claudia relationship. Really good book. I'd recommend it. And there you go. This is my short review of Merrick. See you later, guys.